work, fun stuff, friends, Prince Charming, and kids. Now juggle! My name is Amanda Bentow, and today we're talking about the good old topic of work-life balance, so stay tuned. I remember driving across town one day, racing to the daycare to pick up my son, and I was frustrated because I had already left big projects left undone at work, and I knew that I had to get him fed, give him a bath, and get him to bed. I would have just a little bit of time with him, and I was just wondering, how in the world do people do this? My house was a mess. My husband and I hadn't had a normal conversation in I don't know how long, and I felt inadequate as a mom, a wife, a volunteer, an employee, and a boss. And then time for my friends. Yeah, right. But I knew there was a better way. I mean, tons of people have been doing this before me. So let me tell you about the 4 things that I've learned on my hunt for work-life balance. First of all, I had to get clear about what was most important to me. Life happens in seasons and our priorities change too. So before I had kids, I kind of thought it was wimpy when people use their kids as an excuse. But I quickly realized that kids take a lot of time and energy. My priorities had changed and I had to shift the way that I was thinking. Number 2 is we have to have healthy boundaries. That means I own my stuff and you own your stuff. I spent too much time letting what I thought other people thought I was going to think get in the way of my time at home with my family. In other words, I felt guilty for leaving a meeting at the time it was supposed to end rather than waiting through the extra bonus content that everyone else was going to sit through. But once I really grabbed onto the fact that my priorities had changed and I got to choose, then I was able to leave those meetings and say no to other things guilt-free. Number 3, I learned to feed my body and my soul. I changed my reading and my entertainment choices to things that would build me up rather than just waste my time or worse, be like a big old negative influence in my life. And I had to change up my eating. What I learned was that my stress level and my anxiety were directly tied to the foods I was eating. But I had no idea. I had been eating this stuff like pasta and cheese and bread and had no idea that it impacted the way I was feeling. The bottom line is that whatever we put in mixes with what we already have. And then we put that back out into the world. So if you want to put good things into the world, you got to put good things in you. And number 4, we have to make sleep a priority, and that is every new parent's biggest challenge. Do you know that sleep can actually damage our brains, and we can't make that up later? When we're tired, we have a harder time making decisions and even identifying our positive feelings. And the part of our brain that controls fear, it's on overdrive, so we perceive everything as a threat. You get a little testy when you're tired? Me too! And when we're tired and crabby, that just creates more problems and more stress that piles on top of everything else that makes us more crabby, and we have a harder time making decisions, and it adds to the overwhelm. It just throws everything out of whack. Look, I don't like to think of this as a juggling act between work and your personal life. It's all one big bucket, and it's called life. And that means that you get to choose how you spend your time and your energy. So if you feel like there's a piece of your life inside that bucket that just drains you and it doesn't really build you up, then it might be time to consider getting rid of that thing. Unless it's your kids, you gotta keep those. So start making a plan to unwind from those things that drain you, exhaust you, and leave you totally out of energy. And look for new things that build you up and add to your sense of purpose. If your current job doesn't do that for you, it might be time to look for another opportunity. And it doesn't mean that you've failed. It means it's a big old win because you've identified one more thing in the world that you just were not created to do. If you thought this video was helpful, then click on the subscribe button and head to free5day.com. I'll let you in on my video coaching program, and I'll give you recipes and a grocery list to clean up your mind and encourage your heart. My job is to help you live your most amazing life, and I can only do that when you take care of you. Go to free5day.com and I'll give you video coaching every day, recipes, meal plan, grocery list, everything you need to clean up your diet, have more energy and clarity in just 5 days.